حضرة صاحب السمو الملكي الأمير عبد الله الفيصل وزير الصحة في المملكة العربية السعودية.
الوقاية خير من العلاج، حكمة.
His Royal Highness Prince Abdullah Al-Faisal, Minister of Health in the Government of Saudi Arabia, speaks to the people of his country.
لسبب لا أظن يخفى على مدارك
He
الجميع.
tells of a great unknown danger, a tiny insect that carries germs of many diseases and is able to inflict much damage on the health of the people and the land.
هذا الفيلم هو باكورة أفلام سوف
He
نخرجها.
therefore urges them to grow aware of this menace to human health.
أحدث طرق الوقاية. إن موضوع الفيلم هو عن حشرة ممقوتة وصغيرة.
Concluding, Prince Abdullah Al-Faisal dedicates this first of a series of medical films to the health of each and every subject of His Majesty King Abdulaziz ibn Saud.
في ظل حضرة صاحب الجلالة مولاي الملك المعظم.
Early one morning, Salah bin Ali set out from his little village to the souk in the big city. What has overcome Salah? Whence comes this sudden pain? From the little village of Salah bin Ali, from the vast land of Saudi Arabia, throughout the many countries of the Middle East. Indeed, throughout the whole world, the same agent that struck down this boy brings sickness and pain to millions of people. Severe ailments of the stomach, the agony of typhoid, the horrible death of cholera, trachoma, destroyer of vision. This terrible menace to human health that spreads sadness and death throughout the world is in truth the tiny everyday housefly, the insect to which we give so little thought. How then combat this fearful agent of disease? Insecticides? At first, great results were gained. A few survived and a new generation was born. But lo, these flies had now within their bodies a resistance to the insecticide. Again the spray. And so it came to light that the effect of the insecticide does not endure from one generation to the next. And today, the terrible power of this insect still remains, bringing sickness and pain throughout the entire world, throughout the many countries of the Middle East, throughout the vast land of Saudi Arabia, indeed to the little village, to the home of Salah bin Ali. whence come the germs that rack the body with fever, twist the belly with pain? From Salah's own courtyard come these germs. From garbage carelessly disposed, from the waste matter of man, from the waste of animals. In these sources of disease are millions of germs. And like a missile aimed true from its weapon, now come the flies, bringing disease straight from the courtyard into the home of Salah, straight to the food of the family, leaving there millions of germs. إذا وقع الذباب على طعامي رفعت يدي ونفسي تشتهيه. This food Salah did eat, taking the germs of disease into his body. In time, Salah feels better and again sets out for the souk in the big city. Before returning to his own village, Salah wanders about the streets of the city. Wonder of wonders. Can this be? Is this monster truly a fly? Within the health center, the doctor becomes aware of a visitor.
خير إن شاء الله. السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله.
The doctor asks, "What is it, my boy?"
في ذباب.
"Is there a fly so big?" says Saleh. The doctor is amused. He asks Saleh's name. Saleh replies and the doctor makes him welcome.
أنا الدكتور.
"I am Dr. Fuad," he says. "Come here, Saleh.
إن لهذه
This glass has the power of enlarging an object many times to the naked eye.
وهذه هي ذبابة.
Here now is your tiny, harmless fly."
عجيب عجيب.
نعم عجيب يا صالح.
"But I can make him even larger," Dr. Fuad says.
أستطيع أن أجعلها أكبر. هل تريد أن ترى؟ توجد هنا.
He shows Saleh still another instrument with many glasses and many times more powerful in enlarging an object to the naked eye.
وقوة هذه الآلة تزيد عن قوة تلك الزجاجة أضعاف المرات. هنا.
"Here," he tells the youth, "you look, my boy."
تماما مظبوط. قرب نظرك. افتح عينيك يا صالح. هكذا. ماذا ترى؟
الحقيقة هذا صحيح.
There, within the glass, he sees that the tiny fly and this ugly giant are indeed the same. Saleh asks how does the fly make him sick.
هي تنشر
Dr. Fuad
الجراثيم يا
explains to
صالح.
Saleh that the fly spreads germs from the waste of sick people to the food of the healthy.
تنقلها إلى طعام
Look again,
الأشخاص
Saleh, the
الأصحاء.
doctor urges as he shows how the fly carries germs on the many hairs of its body.
تحمل الذبابة الجراثيم على شعراتها الكثيرة الموجودة على جسمها وعلى أرجلها
On its feet, in sticky footpads, quick to pick up millions of germs.
ويترك الذباب
These tiny germs, the doctor says, are left behind wherever the fly alights.
وأيضا يترك الذباب
The fly leaves these germs in its droppings, dark specks you see on the food you eat.
شكل بقع سوداء على الأطعمة التي نأكلها ومن عادة الذباب
The fly has also the habit of vomiting its food,
تاركا بقعا
leaving light-colored specks alive with millions of germs.
وعندما تدخل
Once these germs get inside your body, Saleh, you then become sick.
ولكني أريد
But Dr. Fuad says he will show Saleh still further the terrible power of this insect. This tiny fly feeds on waste and garbage. It lives but a few months, but in this brief period it may lay nearly 2,000 eggs.
ويبقس البيض
In a few hours the eggs hatch,
وكل
each
بيضة
bringing forth a tiny maggot.
صغيرة وهذه اليرقات هي ديدان ملتوية
These, Saleh, are white squirming worms, feeding on filth in which they breed, animal waste, garbage, human waste.
وبعد إذن
Then, adds the doctor, in not many days the maggot is full grown.
هذه اليرقة نموا كاملا وتبحث عندئذ
It now seeks a drier part of its breeding place.
تناسلها
There, Dr. Fuad tells the youth, the maggot forms a pupa or shell.
وتسمى عندئذ العذراء ذات الغلاف وفي داخلها
Inside the shell, the maggot becomes an adult fly.
إلى أن تصبح ذبابة كاملة
Soon the fly emerges from its shell.
وبعد فترة
And shortly thereafter, its legs will harden, its wings will extend.
وتمتد أجنحتها وعندها تنضم هذه الذبابة إلى
And then
الجموع
this newborn fly will join the great multitude of flies, explains the doctor, swarming around filth in which they breed. A few days pass and now the newborn fly is ready to reproduce in turn.
الذبابة المولودة حديثا قد أصبحت بدورها جاهزة للإنتاج والتوالد فإن بقيت طليقة
If
حرة
unchecked, it will lay still another 2,000 eggs in its breeding place of waste and filth.
والنفايات ولذلك ترى
So you see, Dr. Fuad tells Saleh, there is but one way to rid mankind of this evil curse.
شريرة للإنسان
Destroy the breeding place?
تماما نهدم مكان
Precisely,
التناسل.
destroy the breeding place. In truth, Dr. Fuad tells Saleh, if we all join hands to wipe out these places of filth, then we destroy the terrible power of this insect to live and multiply.
العيش والتكاثر وأماكن التناسل
Breeding places in stables,
كما في
where moist manure is permitted to gather.
كالبقر والخيول وحيث الزبل الرطب يتكوم فوق بعضه البعض
Dead animals left unburied,
الغير مدفونة
decayed food, garbage improperly disposed of.
غير أماكنها والأهم من كل ذلك
And most important, Saleh, human waste left exposed to flies.
الذباب وتوالده
In conclusion, Dr. Fuad tells his young visitor,
أن النظافة
has it not been said, cleanliness is part of godliness?
يا صالح أن يخوض
But it is not sufficient for one to join in this battle against the fly.
ولكن يجب على الجميع
Instead, we must all join hands to combat this great enemy.
العدو
For surely, God's hand is with the group.
أن يد الله مع الجماعة
village, Saleh sees the conditions in his courtyard. What had his friend the doctor said? Destroy the breeding place. Then we destroy the terrible power of this insect to live and multiply. Salah is now aware of this danger to the health of himself and his family.
ايش فيك يا صغير؟
Filled with a great resolve, Saleh sets forth to correct these conditions. All day does Saleh work, and then sees the results of his effort. The courtyard of the family of Muhammad Abu Saleh will no longer provide a breeding place for the fly. But alas, several days later, to Saleh's great dismay, his father Muhammad is stricken. The same fever, the same pain. Saleh wonders what good was his great effort. Had he not followed the doctor's words? Had he not removed the breeding places of the fly? Then Saleh's gaze did fall upon the courtyard of his neighbor.
صباح الخير يا صالح.
صباح النور.
كيف حالك؟
Saleh and his neighbor exchange greetings. Then Saleh asks how his neighbor is faring.
زين. الحمد لله.
Everything is well, the neighbor says. Conditions are good.
طيبة.
Good?
ايش فيها من الطيب؟
How can conditions like these be good? He then remembers the doctor's words. It is not sufficient for one to join in this battle against the fly. Instead, we must all join hands, Saleh, against this great enemy. Heavy with grief for the pain of his father, Saleh wanders forth into the streets of the village. There he sees other conditions that enable the fly to live and multiply. Soon Saleh learns his father is not alone in his pain, for sickness has come to other homes in the village, to the home of Saleh's friend, Hassan, to the house of Abdul Karim, to the home of Mahmoud, whose infant brother had died last night. Indeed, throughout the village there is sickness and despair, brought by this treacherous foe of all mankind. But the wise emir of the village is also concerned about the state of health of his subjects. He has summoned his council to discuss plans to combat this wave of sickness that has invaded so many homes. At the door of the majlis, anxiously Saleh watches the elders of the village enter. But lo, who comes to attend the majlis?
دكتور فؤاد. صباح الخير.
صباح الخير يا صالح، كيف صحتك؟
الحمد لله طيب، أنا مسرور أشوفك.
أهلا وسهلا.
Saleh knows soon all will be well. The agent that has brought this fearful sickness throughout the village will himself be destroyed. To combat the fly, we must destroy its breeding places. But it is not one who must engage in this effort, but all.
وإنه لمن المؤكد أن يد الله مع الجماعة.
A great campaign for cleanliness must be waged throughout the village, in which all must join, each man and his neighbor, to correct conditions that breed the fly. Cleaning up waste that litters the streets and roadsides. Carting away this refuse and burying it deep into the bowels of the earth, beyond the reach of the fly. But in each man's home too must this campaign be waged, sealing the mirhad with a lid so that flies may not enter. As an extra precaution, using screens, sealing the mirhad on the street side. Installing screens also over doors and windows of each man's home to prevent the fly from entering. Community action, individual action. These are the methods we must follow. Mark now the absence of flies. In the souk, an atmosphere of cleanliness. Nourishing food uncontaminated by flies. In the streets, in the courtyards, hammams. Indeed, the health of the community is bound up in these conditions of sanitation. With this great concerted campaign, with the community working as one to destroy the breeding places of this enemy, in time the fly will be destroyed. Then no longer will it bring sickness and despair to this village. Instead, an era of good health. Verily, a strong nation depends on a strong, healthy people. We will all join hands in common battle against this terrible insect. In the words of the Prophet, Allah helps his servant if the servant helps his brother. So be it within the village, the home of Saleh bin Ali. So be it throughout the vast land of Saudi Arabia, throughout the many countries of the Middle East. So be it throughout the world. The fly is our enemy. Destroy it.